Really growing up, I didn't put a lot of thought into living out my faith. It was more about checking the box and doing what was expected of me and being where I was expected to be. I've always believed in God, but it had more to do with, I'm doing this because I have to. This is the routine and this is what I'm supposed to do. Up until Church Story, it was really tradition-based. It was not something that I, really lived out. When I first heard about Church Story from my wife, she talked about how a group of people that were all kind of friends and wanted to just try to start doing life together, and there was no building, there was no big production or anything. The one thing that really made me excited about it was my wife was not on staff, so it was sort of an opportunity to let's just try going to church as a family, the four of us. It was really apparent to me from day one that it just felt very real. It felt very transparent. Transparency with finances in a church there is really important. I don't know that I was anti-contribution to the church. I think it was more about lacking trust for the system, or maybe just lacking an understanding of what the system even meant. And so at Church Story, one of the things I love is that from day one, the transparency has felt like an open book there. If I want to understand where our effort and our money is being spent, I can drive 30 minutes and see, and I know exactly where that contribution went. And I love that about Church Story and always have, and that's what makes me really comfortable to continue being a member at Church Story. For the first 6 months or so, we went to church as a family, the four of us. Then God started calling us into areas where it was a different feel, because I talked a little bit earlier about how Church Story felt just like a group of friends. And so when you see a friend that needs help, it's really hard to just watch them need that help and not help. So we said, you know what, let's just do 1 week a month. We'll just volunteer 1 week a month. And then that turned into 2 weeks, and then it turned into, I joined the worship team. I've been playing guitar and singing and being involved in all kinds of different aspects of music over the course of my life, but I've never been a part of a worship team before. I've never been really this involved in a church at all. When the opportunity came up, the first thing that crosses my mind is like, am I even worthy of doing this? Do I even belong on this stage right now? As I started to realize that God was putting me in a position that leveraged what I was born to do and what I probably should have always been doing. One day Ashley said, hey, Taylor said, can we have youth at the house? And I said, yeah, why not? She said, all you have to do is cook enough tacos for 40 people, breakfast tacos. Could you do that? And it's like, I guess I can, yeah. We've gotten to know a lot of the kids. We've attracted kids in the neighborhood whose parents go to different churches in the area, but because we host youth here, they come to youth here on Sunday nights. And so it's really just been a blessing to have the house that we have, and we couldn't be happier doing it. My faith has grown tremendously. I probably don't read my Bible as often as I should. I'm just making an honest attempt now because the faith feels real to me. It kind of brings me back to the first time I walked through the doors at Church Story. I don't mean walking through a building, I mean walking through a neighborhood clubhouse where we had some folding chairs and had our first interest gathering there. I felt like the people sitting around me were just other versions of me. The scale was smaller at that time, and so it was easy to deliver that feeling because you literally could talk to everybody that was in the room around you. It is getting bigger. It still feels to me like a small church, and hoping that we can come away with the resources that we need to create an environment and a space where somebody like me, who's a little bit skeptical and isn't sure if they trust the system, can walk in the door and feel like they belong to something, feel like they're surrounded by people who are just like them, imperfect people who are just like them, that believe in God and want to grow in their faith, and hopefully get a lot more people like me through the door.